Sense of anything. Nobody can understand you. You're like in that music video one, except you can see and hear. That's what this thing is. It's trying to tell me stuff and I don't understand the words that are coming out of your mouth. You don't have the vocabulary. Maybe if I saw a cat, I would understand. Sometimes I understand. It's like horses. You know, horses know if you're happy or you're sad. They speak with their souls. Christ. Did you know that horses... Rubbing the microphone with your face. Did you know that horses... You turn the... Yeah, nice, Miles. Nice! You read my mind. Did you know that horses... You can steer a horse without... You can steer a horse with your mind. I don't know this for sure. But I know a person... Yes. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. I don't speak cat. You know that. Does that mean food? Does it mean hug? Does it mean I want to be the host of the show? What does it mean? What are you saying? I don't know. Surely...
Super chat.
It's a super chat already?
Jordan Blair. Buy your cat some cat food. Or buy your car some cat food.
You know what's crazy is I do have wet food.
$10.
Thank you. Who is it?
Jordan Blair.
Jordan, I've got to go get wet food. I don't give a lot of wet food because I have 3 cats now and it adds up. But I do give them a little bit in the mornings. And I am low on cat food. I'm low on everything. I'm supposed to go to the dentist. I got a hole in my tooth, but I don't want to go because it costs money. I've got insurance, but it doesn't matter. They charge you. I got my knees wrecked, but I don't want to go get an MRI because I don't want to spend any money. My tires are bald. My windshield's cracked. But thanks to my sobriety and doing all the steps, I've made amends to several people. And some of those people happen to be my ex-wife, the mother of my children. And she was nice. I bought my daughter a car, and then she bought my daughter a new car. This is way cooler. And she was like, do you want that car back? I feel like do you want the car back was a part of... It was something that probably wouldn't have happened if I hadn't have got my shit back on track. Because I think she actually still likes me now. So I'm selling that car on Thursday. And then I will have enough money to go to the dentist, go to the doctor, get new tires, and a new windshield. I've had a windshield it's cracked. It's not a little, it goes all the way from one side to the other. And I will have the money to do all that. And then Brianna, bless her heart, was like, why don't you go on a break? And I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, like after you go on tour, instead of going home, like take a break for a couple of days. And I was like, that sounds like a vacation. And that's like, I don't know if I can do that. And I also don't know if I want to. I don't know what I would do for 2 days with nothing to do. No cats, no train. Like, I want to go to the gym or I want to go do comedy. Like, those are my... Jesus! Those are my pleasures in my life. Oh, my God, dude. Did you get a hit of ecstasy before the show started and I didn't know about it? You licking my wounds? I got beat up. That's a weird thing. I did 30 rounds on Saturday. 30 rounds straight, Miles.
Yeah, I saw you.
No stool.
Posting the showboating clip.
Well, that's the least I can. Come on, And dude, I let him hit me like a lot. I got bruises all over me. My shoulders are killing me. Like
That's
they,
the worst feeling in boxing when your shoulders start getting slow, so you act like you're dropping your hands because you're steezy, but actually it's just you're in pain and they're hard to keep up.
my pain at the time is so nothing. The pain for me is the pain of the day after and the day after and the day after, because it's Monday and Saturday's when I did it, and my shoulders and my neck and my forearms, my wrists, my hands hurt from punching them, because one of them had a brain injury. Like these guys are like veteran. Like these guys have been blown up, you know. Oh look, you can see my purple mark on my face. So I got a bruise on the inside of my lip, but now it's coming through to the other side, which looks really cool. I'm being sarcastic. Ian Fance is calling me. This is a live interview with Ian Fance. Ian Fance, I'm doing a live show, and now you're my guest.
What's up, everybody?
Wait, what the fuck?
Good to be here.
Yes, it's great to have a celebrity on the Awesome World show. This is a free show, so it's on YouTube, so millions of people are seeing it, /60.
Shut up.
Yeah, you're huge. Finally, you've made it. How does it feel?
Oh my God, enough with the fucking insecurity. Who gives a shit? Just have fun, Jason.
Aw, thank you, Ian. So check it out, Ian. We're going to do a show on Wednesday, and then we're going to do our starter kit show on Thursday, and then we're going to do a Twitch right after it.
All right, what time?
I'm going to notify you later on at a convenient time for you, like 2 or something like that.
Well, I got to do a podcast, I think at 3 or 3:30 on Thursday, so earlier in the day is better.
All right, let's talk to Brianna about that.
Okay.
All right, I'll see you Wednesday.
All right, goodbye, everybody out there in TV land. Have a good day.
Thanks, Ian. The great Ian Fance. See you, dude. There he is. What a man, what a guy, what a celebrity, what a comedian, what a champion. I did a show last night with the great Dave Attell, one of the greatest comedians of all time. And I didn't want to do what I did the other night when I did a show with Dave. So I did some crowd work, and then I looked at my phone and I was like, I have a 10-minute spot, and I did 6 minutes of crowd work, and I was like, oh shit. And then I got kind of muddled up, and I got gay jokes. And some people don't like it, and I haven't told anybody this, but this kind of hurt. So I do my set, and I did good. I did better on Friday night, but I still did good. But I hung out afterwards, talked to Dave. Dave was like, "Hey man, he's like, you have great stories. You don't have to fall back on that stuff all the time. You can, just do do new stuff. You don't have to do that." And I was like, this is one of the greatest comedians ever, and he's given me advice. And he also said, like, you're doing really good. I mean, he has me on his shows when he's in town, so it is an honor. But that, I'm taking it, and not sober Jason it'd be in one ear out the other. But I was like really taking it to heart, and I was like, I've got a lot of new material. I don't trust it. And it's like, this is a sold out crowd in Irvine. Like, it's like 800 people. So I didn't want to lean on stuff, which is crazy because I just did 6 minutes of crowd work. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't as good as my material. So, like, why wouldn't I try new stuff? But I was leaving. This is hard to admit. So I'm leaving, right? I'm walking to the parking lot, and there's 2 couples, and they're walking towards the parking lot. And the one guy goes, "Man, that was crazy. Dave Attell is so funny." He's like, "That girl was really funny too, but that skateboard guy was weird." And I go, "Yeah, he is, isn't he?" And they all look around and go, "Oh, shit." And I'm like, "Yeah." And I know what he meant when he said that. Because, I talk about how I was a little bit gay for a while. Now I'm not. And I'm making jokes, but it's still hard for a lot of us to deal with that. Like, some of my jokes, it makes a lot of straight, I don't want to say Christians, but it makes a lot of people uncomfortable. And there's millions of other experiences that I've had in my life that have nothing to do with that. And at this point, you know, like I'm single, man. I'm coming home. I'm sitting here by myself. You know, those options are on the table. They're always on the table. And I don't know how to, it's just, you know, it's a weird thing. Also, people bashing me for talking about praying to God. I'm not religious. I don't have a problem with religious people unless I don't have a problem with anyone because I just can't do it anymore. But if you're religious and you think that people that are doing other things that aren't your religion and you disapprove, you're a fucking asshole, you know? Because, I don't know, you know, there's Muslims out there in certain countries where their women can't show anything but their eyes. I don't approve of that, but I'm not telling you to do something else. That's your fucking country. That's what you're doing. You know, the fact of the matter, and I don't know everything, just like I said at the start of the show, someone told me that when you ride horses a lot, eventually they get connected with you, and where you want to go is where they go without you steering them. And I was like, that is fucking crazy to say that. But I believe her. I believe it to be factual. Can you Google that there's any truth to that, Miles? Because I think real horse people understand this, and I think and horses, you know, like like the horse that I did own, you know, I felt like he really was connected to me, and I don't know how to do all these other things with horses, but the more I rode him, the more I was like, holy shit, like this dude understands so much more than I understand. And, yeah, but when it comes to facts, like when it comes to gay people, you know, people say it's a choice. I know some people that are gay, and there's nothing they can do about it, you know? I guess to make you happy, if they lived in a world where they weren't allowed to have relationships with other people of the same sex, then they could, you know, it's kind of like, hey, I'm telling you from here on out that it is illegal for you to have relations with another person of the opposite sex. Could you do that knowing that you would be prosecuted if you did? You could do it. You know, like, I'm going to shoot you, or you're not going to have a job if you date a girl and you're a guy, or if you're a girl and you date a guy, like vice versa, whatever you want to say. You could, like, if I catch you, I will shoot you. You could not do it, you know? Would you be happy? I would suspect that you would not be that happy about that, but you could do it. What I'm trying to say is, because that's the difference, you know? And I'm not saying this is all bi guys are like this, or all bi girls are like this. This is a thing for me where I am seriously not attracted to it. Like, I really don't want to do it, which is sad because I did it so many times and it was not good for me, and it made me feel worse about myself. And I've talked about it so much, and now I make jokes about it. I make jokes that I'm not that anymore, but I was. And it's like, you know, it's funny to say that. But I think it still triggers this world, especially now with the new politicians and the Christianity being pushed really hard, you know, and the trans thing, where it's just like, I don't know, man. Like, I know some trans people. I know some trans girls. They're fucking girls, dude. I don't know what to tell you. You know, when they get older and they like disappear into their little apartments or houses with their little families or whatever they are, and none of you are watching, guess what they are? They're women. They're living a woman's life, and to tell them that they're not, I just don't see it. When you're talking about women, trans women in sports against other women, I don't think that's a good idea. I think, you know, if you're 6'2" and you're playing against a bunch of people that are, you know, 5'8", I think, like you're making it harder for all the other people out there that just want to live their lives. But I do think that my crusade for trying to get people to open their minds is more of I don't want to say it's a losing battle. I just think that for my peace of mind and what I'm trying to do, I think I'm not at the level yet where I can make these jokes and really open your mind with some intelligent conversation that makes you real. I do have slightly I have the ability, but I think that I can, in another 5 years from now that I'll have better chops and be able to make more sense of it. So in the meantime, I think it'd be better to write some other jokes about some other stuff. So it was a little bit tough last night, that comment, that I'm weird, which, because I talked about dicks. It hurt. It hurt my feelings. And then Dave giving me some pointers. He's trying to help. And, what I prefer was just like, man, you should just keep doing exactly what you're doing. You're on fire. He didn't say that, So I need to, but this is, you fail and you learn from it and you get better. And this is life. So it's a weird, because I'm still a bit dumb, but I'm also kind of smart. So both minds are attacking, where it's like, you learned a huge lesson last night. You should be very grateful. And I am very grateful. And I woke up and wrote a whole thing, a joke, a whole thing. It doesn't involve sex, because that's the other thing. I think I do that too much, because that was my life, and I talk about my life when I do my jokes, and I became pretty one-tracked, man. Like I was just doing that, only that. So I wrote some new stuff down, and I'm gonna do it because when Dave Attell tells you to give it a go, you fucking give it a go. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm very committed to it. I'm very excited. I feel very fortunate. I feel so great that I'm sober and I can analyze this in a safe mental capacity where I'm like, don't get too down on it. Like, work for it. Get it going. So like I said, when something bad happens, you make adjustments, and they're really gifts if you're a very smart person. If you handle it in a smart way, these are gifts. So, I'm making these adjustments. So I'll tell you, so Whitney Cummings, right? Greatest comedian of all time. She has a horse. I told her that I am no longer allowed to see my horse. Doesn't matter why. And she was like, you can see my horse. And I was like, really? So I met her yesterday, and she introduced me to her horse, showed me, this is what he likes, walking around. She was like, if you want to come here anytime by yourself, take my horse for a walk, go for it. I'm like, holy shit, Whitney. And then she did, man, the information that she has about horses, man, some people are just other levels of intelligence and hustle, I think a lot of us just sort of bump around doing the same thing every day and not trying to gather information. It's like, I don't listen to Joe Rogan Experience, but from what I gather, it just seems like the guy gathers a lot of information. Some of it you might not like or you might not believe, and that's great. That's your opinion. But man, does he have a lot of information? Man, has he done a lot of research? I'm not saying he's done his own research. I'm just saying he's got a lot of stuff, a lot of knowledge. And when you have a lot of knowledge, you can pick and choose and use these things to help you in your life. And I think that it's inspiring. That's how I take it. As I've always been, skateboarder, skateboard. And like, I'm in radio. And I'm like, I'm going to be a fighter, fight. I'm going to be a comedian. I'm like, there's no other time when you're high, you can barely fit in the one thing you care about. So now that I am completely sober and in the program and working on all that stuff, I just see life as this whole different thing. I also see life as like, very painful. You know, I think that we're all kind of in the clouds, social media and celebrities and all the people that you see on TV and day-to-day magazine, social media, jerk-off asshole faces. They make you think like it's all supposed to be great all the time, you know? But it's not. You know what I mean? It's terrible. Think about hundreds of years ago, 100 years ago. You know, people didn't live that long, and there's wars and disease and famine, and you know, I mean, it's still happening in other countries where some people, you know, like what if you're in that country I was talking about where you're not allowed to show your hair, and you want to show your hair and you're not allowed? What about if you're in one of those countries and you're born gay, and if you're gay they'll kill you? That seems like a pretty bad day, you know, but we don't know about that. And then we have our jobs here, and we're working every day, and you know, it's hard to pay rent, and your girlfriend leaves you, or you leave your girlfriend, or you break up, or you know, you have a baby and he's sick, or you know, like you get cancer, and you know, there's so many things that happen to us that are terrible. Sharks eat people alive. You know, what happens if you're just swimming on vacation and then a giant sea creature starts eating you? That's a bad day, you know? Sorry, there's people texting me. So it's just these, when you realize that it's always been pretty brutal to be a human. But I think I've lived such a life of luxury, you know, where I've had these jobs where I just skateboard, and then when I finish skateboarding, I smoke weed, and then I sleep with a bunch of chicks. And now I'm like, oh no, taxes. Oh no, divorce. Oh no, you know, like kid stuff, or it's you're like, oh man, I can't. My parents, my dad dies, my brother dies, and I'm like, oh no, is there anybody that could have a worse life? And it's like, are you kidding me? Yeah, like it is brutal for everybody. That's why I think, you know, you got to get your mind right. And you can't get your mind right if you don't take care of it. You know, if you don't eat good, if you don't exercise, if you don't get sleep, if you don't do all these things, like alcohol, we're all have a drink, have a smoke, have a drink. Have a drink makes you dumb. It makes you slow. It makes you depressed. It makes you not able to analyze what is happening in the world around us and to you. You could be better. You could have these days of like bliss without any drugs or alcohol where you're just excited about a moment. And we're never going to get that because we're all numbed. We're numbing ourselves from the pain. I don't know where I'm going, you know, I just feel like sometimes I wake up and I feel so happy about where I am, you know, because this is going to end. Old people go to old people homes. Old people go to doctors all the time because they're sick and they got to take pills and they don't know where they are. What about when you get older and you don't know who you are? You did, and then 5 minutes later, you don't. That happens to so many people now. And guess who wants to hang out with you when you're that? Nobody. You're just alone. So right now, you have this pocket where you can use your body to do things, go outside, see things, build things, create relationships, like make other people feel loved. You know, instead of like thinking about how somebody did somebody dirty. That's the other thing, you know, the news, these guys are bad or those guys are bad. They never say anything nice about each other. You know, it's just like if you're a liberal, you're a dumbass. If you're a Republican, you're a dumbass. Did you know your leader's a dumbass? Did you know your leader's a dumbass? And I'm like, man, either side, it's just insults. You're just being insulted. You're being insulted for being one thing or you're being insulted for being the other. There's never like, hey, if you're a liberal, you're a good guy, or you're a good girl. If you're a Republican, you're a good guy, you're a good girl. My mother's, my children's mother is a Republican. She's a great person, you know. I know, like I think my other wife is a liberal. She's a good person. There's good people everywhere doing all kinds of things. I just think you get caught up in it. It's so easy to get caught up in it. You know, like there's things that, like when I meditate now, because of the way I realize the world is full of pain and there's so much of it that happens to so many of us every day, every hour of every day. When I meditate and there's little pockets where I am truly free from my worries, my what's going to happen, what did happen, and there's just that pocket where I am completely free of all of it. It is bliss in my own head by myself. It can be achieved with no drugs or alcohol. You can do it. Nobody meditates. Think about how many people that drink a beer instead of meditate. You know, because you get that quick fix. Ozempic. You know? Go to the gym. Live a life of like exercise. Stimulate your mind. No, I'll just take a pill that won't make me fat anymore. We're not willing to do the work.
I think Ozempic's also prescribed for people with diabetes, though.
Yeah, well, that's different. You know, but also diabetes, how'd you get that? I'm not saying everybody that has diabetes is eating bad, but I think a lot of people that get it is that. Text message. How does Alice not remember the Come On Marlon song? People used to call the show to troll sing it for years. I'll tell you why. Because I did 30 rounds on Saturday and everyone punched me in the face. That's why. Free pod on Apple Podcast still says Kevin host. Good. Good. I don't care. You know, I'm happy for everybody. I think Kevin probably feels worse about it than I do. How many tattoo chewed up pieces of bubble gum with a dick? Wait, oh my God. Hey, you tattoo chewed up piece of bubble gum with a dick. We spoke last Friday. Wow, this is a good one for about 30 minutes. And I just want to thank you. Wow. Thank you, man to man, for your time. And beyond that, your full honesty. I'm a big guy with tattoos, so people don't give me honestly like you're supposed to be get me. I don't know. Like you did. Thank you. I'll talk to you whenever. That was the most backhanded compliment of the day. Man, I feel bad that patron payment bounced this month because of this financial hole I'm in lately. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks I'll be able to renew it, be back soon to bring all the content I'm missing out. Well, that sucks for that guy. Mates, in February, God, fucking can't see close with these on. Weird. February 11th episode audio is not available. We fixed that, didn't we? Miles?
The audio?
The RSS feed?
Yeah, if that is it going to iTunes and all that shit, yeah, we did, I believe.
Yeah. Special education tech here, aka divorce jizz slinger. 47 days alcohol free. Look at that guy going for it. Hey, mate. My ex surprised me with the divorce this year. I've been sober for a year. I'm fighting to survive. And there for my boys. If you say a prayer for people have a problem with that, screw 'em. You know I've had to start praying and saying Serenity prayer to get through my shit. Keep your head up. Love you, brother. You've carried me through these hard times. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say with the prayer thing. Like, it's my higher power. And if your higher power is your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, good. Mine is just my higher power. I think I'm a little skeptical on religion because, as I said, when it becomes this thing where you are religious and you need everyone else to be your religion, because I don't need everybody else to do what I do. I'm just saying that since I've been doing this, it's made my life easier. I have thought clearer. I am a better person to the people that I care about. You do not have to do it. I will not frown upon you if you do not. I would still be your friend and I would gladly help you if needed. So I have no beef with religion except for, as I said, people that are like frowning upon other people living their existence. But to me, I pray probably 20 to 100 times a day just to be a good person, just to stay strong, just to persevere, just to see the best parts of life, to adapt, to keep going, to get up in the morning. You know, there's pain and, you know, like I'm going to skate on Friday. My knee does not work. I'm skating on Friday, you know. I just pray that my higher power can get me up and get me there. And whatever happens, happens, because it ain't up to me. It's up to them. Notice how I said them, because I don't know if it's a he, she, or a horse. This still an awesome world. Edit to the still the awesome world. What does that mean? It's on Patreon and it's on YouTube for this one. Speaking of Kevin, I seen he made a movie. Hope he's doing well. Yep, me too. Chin up, mate. You are so honest with your whole life. We do care. AZ. Yeah. Yeah, I'm good, man. Like we all go through stuff. It's as long as you keep going, you're fine. Yeah, it's good days and bad days, and that's the way the cookie crumbles, baby. But yeah, it's like this person on Instagram was angry at me. He's like, "You look like a fucking idiot talking about praying," and I'm like, "Okay, well that's you. I'm doing me, and I'm doing it on social media because there might be somebody out there that might get some help from it. You can not do it, or you can do it like that one guy. You know, you pray. It does help. To me, it just helps." You know, I find eating an animal-based diet has helped. I post it. It's a weird thing when someone, no one is like, "Hey, man, stop posting about your animal-based diet. You look like a dickhead." It helps me, and if someone else wants to try it and it helps them, well, then you're welcome. You know, it's like meditation. Like, this is the thing. I know what it's like to hate God because I did that my whole life. I was very angry at God. Why was I angry at God? Well, because some things happened to me in my childhood where I was under the impression if God was real, which is also, this is this weird thing where religion makes it convoluted, where you're like, if Jesus Christ is here and he's watching over us, then how can he let children get brain cancer? And how can he let somebody get molested when they're a child? Well, that's each to their own, but I do not believe that there's a person that is watching making things good or bad for people. I think that we have a higher power. You know, we could be aliens, man. We could be like pieces of alien. And they could be like a higher power alien that's in the sky listening. It could be a dragon. It could be a wizard. Or it could be you talking to yourself. Coaching yourself to will yourself to keep going. It could be the spirits in the world, in the sky, in the universe. It could be us. We're living in a different matrix. It could be like a thing where this is like when we die, we wake up and realize that this life was a dream. And then when we die, we wake up and go, what was that? That was just a dream. You know?
Ass man,
Ass man.
$50.
Ass man, holla! Appreciate you, ass man. Hell yeah. Ass man got backs for days. Bitch, I put a week on it. But yeah. It doesn't matter who it is. You're missing the point. It's like Bruce Lee once said. It's like a finger pointing to the sky. Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all the heavenly glory. Don't think. Feel. What? He said that too. That's what he said. He said, why doesn't someone pull out a 45 bang Setowit? He said that. He could...
You should be a Bruce Lee like voice actor in like a cartoon or something.
Yeah?
Give me a quick hiya.
Don't concentrate on the finger or you will miss all that heavenly glory.
Bruce Lee, smart man. He died. But did he die? Or did he wake up from the dream? It could be real. That could be a thing. You don't know. How do you steer a horse without telling the horse where to go? You just use your mind and then the horse goes where you say it goes. How is that possible? Did you fucking Google that, Miles?
What?
Can you steer a horse with your mind? I feel like there's a better way to ask that question.
You're gonna get on like a autism checklist through this.
We already did the autism checklist. I ranked very highly. What? Autism is bullshit too. I mean, if you're really gone, then maybe it is. But when you say you have a light case, you don't have a light case.
Can't steer a horse with your mind alone.
What do you mean? Yes, you can.
You can use your brain to partner with your horse and improve your riding by focusing on your thoughts and body awareness.
Right.
So pretty close.
Right.
You can't be like, horse, get me a treat.
Well, I didn't say that. I said if you're riding down a trail and you want to go left and you tell the horse to go left without pulling his reins and this horse knows you, he will go. Is what I'm saying. They're psychic. Was that a retarded thing to say?
Spectrum's wide.
Texted a while back, just checking to see if it's the same number. My bad. Keep up the awesome work. Yes. Yes, indeedly do. Am I supposed to do a read today as well that we didn't do?
Allegedly.
I am. Okay. So, yeah.
You gotta remind me about that, by the way.
I mean, I'm trying. I feel like that was pretty good right there, what I just did. But if that slips, then we're in trouble. It's the best I can do. So, yeah. I've had a little bit of a... I had a lot of time to think about stuff in this life. You know, I've been thinking a lot about where I'm going and what I'm doing and who I'm doing it with. And I think a part of me is still there in this set way where it's like, well, if you don't have someone with you, you're lonely. I'm like, am I? You know? Am I lonely? Because it's just like a perception. You know, I'm very occupied. I'm very busy doing a lot of things. Sometimes I talk to so many people about so much shit that when I'm done talking, I don't wish to speak to anyone about anything. So to have a partner, that's why horses, that's this thing where, you know, when I did ayahuasca, I spoke to some souls, if you will, in the spirit world. And I realized that we do not communicate with tongue. We sense the presence of another and they sense our presence, and that is the communication. I wasn't there in the spirit world long enough to go too in depth with it, but I did get this feeling that in another dimension, there's another way of communicating, which is like, Rumblebean. Can he speak English? No. But can he communicate with me? Like, do I sense his presence and does he sense mine? Is that not a form of communication? It's just a form of communication that perhaps we do not work on because we have this other way of communicating, so we don't flex that other muscle. It's kind of like, deaf people see better. Like, I don't know if that's true. Wait.
Keep going.
Deaf people see better. Blind people hear better.
Better than deaf people see.
I don't know. I don't know how it all works. I just know that it's like meditation. When you first start meditating, it's pretty difficult to get in the zone. It's next to impossible. Like, if you've never meditated ever and you try it, it's not going to be great. But you also realize how painstakingly boring it is and how you cannot wait for your... Like, if I say I'm going to meditate for 10 minutes, I will be meditating and I'll be like, man, what has it been, like 3 minutes? I'm like, fuck, I got shit to do, And it's like, do you? But if you can do it and you do it regularly and you do it more and more, you will slip into a state of meditation way faster and way deeper. And that is kind of like everything. Even breath work. I've now started to do breath work in the morning. All I do is 25 breaths. And my brain will say to me, as I'm doing these breaths, I'll be like, I get to 15 and I'm like, 10 more. Like, I just want to end it now. I got shit to do. It's just our instincts that we're not accustomed to doing these things, and we're used to doing that. I like to go on TikTok, I like to make a coffee, or I'm going to go on some app and surf some bullshit, or go on Amazon and buy a fucking butt plug. I don't know, whatever you're into. We're always preoccupied with all this other shit. It's like the government preoccupied. It's not the government. It's people. We're all gluttonous piglets. All trying to find a way to scam you out of your money so that we get more. I've got the shiniest house. It's all instinct. So you've got to fight these things, You've got to fight these feelings of like what you think you should be, and really find out who you are. And the only way to do that is to separate yourself from all of this stuff and be alone in your own mind. What do you really like? What do you really want to do in your life? Where do you see yourself going? Where would you like to be? I envision myself as the person that I've always wanted to be. I've always done that. And then I'll slip off and be like, I don't want to be that much. Like there were times there where I would train for fights. I'd be like, man, I can't wait to be fat again. I remember saying like, yeah, man, it's cool to have abs, but dude, to have abs just 24/7, no thanks. I'll have a cheeseburger. And that's because your priorities are different, You're like, I want to hang out and party and drink. And if I'm got a hangover, I want to have a breakfast burrito and so on and so forth. Like now, I'm old. I'm older anyway. It's like the mind I have now that if it was in fighting, it would have been so much more enjoyable, because the worst thing to me was making weight. I hated the food. Now, wouldn't even make a fucking difference. I'd just be like, great. Same 3 things over and over again. Fine. Oh, I'm going to shrink it down next week. Fine. Because my priorities are just in better order. They're not perfect. No one's perfect. That's another thing. When you think you're perfect, you've already fucked up. No one's perfect. I don't have any, someone said, I don't have any social media, Snap or Instagram. Nothing. The only thing I have is Facebook. That's social media. So I buy and sell shit. So it's really hard to follow you. I'm so proud to say I haven't had a drink in 3 days. I have you to thank for that. Oh, wow. I know, 3 days. But fuck yeah, 3 days. It's been rough, but absolutely what I needed. Thank you. 3 days is the hardest. You know? To me, I feel like that was the hardest part, is the first 3 days. How do you do breath work? Show me. There is millions of different breath works for different things. If you go on YouTube, there'll be tons of those, but like it's like even the quick one that I do in the morning is just deep breath, breathe out, count 25. That's it. You get lightheaded. It gives you a little bit of a buzz. And I think the main thing is when you do this, what just happened? What does snap mean?
Nothing.
I didn't go offline?
No.
Are you lying?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I think when it comes to the breath work, once again, the more you do it, the better you get at it. The deeper the breaths, the more you can kind of do more of them. But I think, like I was saying, when I do these 25, I feel I'm sick of it by the 8th one. It's hard to commit to keep going. But I know that if I wake up, I don't touch my phone, I sit up, I meditate for 10 minutes. I'm in and out of this meditation because I'm not very good at it, but I'm still doing it. Some days are better than others. It's harder. Like sometimes I wake up and I meditate and my shoulder is cramping. And I'm like, that is affecting my meditation. I am now analyzing how sore my shoulder is. Goddamn, I'm old. Why do I keep doing this stuff? And then I'm like, hey, get back to what you were doing. And then I drift back in. And then I get up, I look in the mirror, I tell myself I love me 10 times in my eyes. And I brush my teeth with my opposite hand. And then I do 25 breaths. And then I get in the shower, I feed the cats, feed the dogs. I pray, get in a 3-point stance when I pray. And it starts my day. And it makes things a little bit easier. It's not like this miraculous turnaround where all of a sudden I wake up and I look in the mirror and I've got hair or anything. There's $1 million in my bank account. It's not Ozempic in this world. It's real work, but so far since I've been doing this stuff, I've had more energy to go to do. I auditioned at the fucking Hollywood Improv and I got an email back and they're looking to book me for some spots. I did shows at the Irvine Improv and the guy that owns the club there is very interested in me doing events there. Maybe even an Alice Mania of sorts. Who knows? But wants me to do shows there. This work that I've been doing, it's not overnight. In the next 5 years, I'm going to Australia, doing an Australian tour. Speaking of Australia, did you see the post that I did about Bindi Irwin? Note to self, don't talk shit on Bindi Irwin. That was a bad idea. I was just joking. It was off the cuff. Somebody talked shit on Steve Irwin, and I went in and was like, how dare you? If you're going to talk shit on Bindi, because you're talking to a guy. I'm made for war. When you punch me in the face, I'm very happy. I like fighting. I like war. I like pain. I like dodging pain. I don't mind if pain catches me. It's what makes me tick. I also thoroughly enjoy burnouts. I enjoy violence in a friendly manner. I enjoy going incredibly fast up against guardrails and skimming past things and going, oh, that was fucking close. I like doing backstairs where I'm like, oh, I'm going to lock it, and then I make it and I go, oh, that was a fucking close one. These are the things that make me happy. I enjoy the power of a horse, being in its presence and feeling the power of a huge beast that could shit whip me whenever it wanted to. And I just love being in the presence of them. I also enjoy the presence of small critters that read my mind and want to tell me that they love me. And then I tell them that I love them. It warms my little heart. I don't know what I was saying.
Steve Irwin.
Yeah. So, because I'm a Neanderthal, and you talk shit on Steve, I don't know if you guys remember, some of you might not be old enough, but this guy went in the water and pulled out crocodiles that could eat him. He tackled them. He also grabbed, look at this snake, and it would bite him. He like, crockies, it's biting me. I've never seen Bindi Irwin do that. Right? I'm not saying she's a bad person. I'm just saying she's a weak bitch. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. Compared to her dad. And it's like, you can't talk shit on her. That's the legend's daughter. And I'm like, look, I'm just being funny. You could be like, Alice, you fag. Yeah, fair enough, yeah. I don't know, fine. It's just no big deal. It's not personal. If she was here, I'd be like, would you like a water or something? You seem like a lovely person. I'm just saying power to weight ratio. Like, what are we doing here? What are we really doing? You're just related to the one that did it. You're not doing it. Oh, she's raised money for charity. That's awesome. She's a great person for raising money for charity. She's a great person for having a zoo that keeps animals in captivity. Maybe she rescued some animals and they were going to die and now they live in her zoo. That's commendable. I'm just saying, Steve Irwin did some shit that entertained the masses on such a giant... He put Australia on the map. Okay, Mick Dundee did a pretty good job too. Okay, a few people did a good job. But the Crocodile Hunter did probably the most for us out of any Australian in this era. His daughter didn't. She's just some chick that farted on Dancing with the Stars. I'm sorry, but that's it. That's what I saw. I don't live there anymore. I don't know what she does now. Maybe it's great. I just made a joke. It was just a joke that jokes. I'm on the stage at the Comedy Store and someone talked shit on Steve Irwin and I had a bunch of energy drink and I just riffed. It's nothing personal. Fuck his son too. Sure, he's a good guy. But he didn't wrestle crocodiles. You get bitten by shit. So, suck a butt. Sorry, Jason, did you say what happened with you and Catherine? Or is it a private matter? Just wondering if I missed it. I mean... I don't know if it's a private... I mean, yeah, it's fucking private matter.
I was going to say, maybe just don't.
Yeah, we just broke up, That's it. Like, nothing... Nobody did anything bad. Just, I don't want to... She's not the one, I don't even know if there is a one anymore, But she's not it. I love her. I just don't want to live with her. And we broke up. We still talk. We're still friends. Just not the right one for me right now. It's, I don't know. There's not really any more detail, like in the in and outs of like a discussion. That's a bit personal, But just know that she's cool, she's happy, and I'm happy. And we don't live with each other anymore. That's it.
Did you ever hear from the horse owner?
Yes, I did.
What happened?
Yeah, dude. That's harder.
Did you talk about this or?
I don't know.
I don't think you did.
Yeah, so I got her number and reached out and say I was under the impression, this is what I was told. The horse, people were like, you should hang out with that horse. No one hangs out with that horse. So I started hanging out with the horse. And my girl, Catherine, at the time said that used to be my horse, but I gave it to a friend of mine. But no, they don't hang out with the horse as much. You should hang out with him. So I did. And then I started posting it. And then that person reached out to Catherine and said, hey, does Jason want him? That's just what I was told. I never had a direct line with this person. And I was like, at the time, it was $300 a month. And I was like, it's a bit much. And Catherine was like, what about if he pays half and then you can see him whenever you want and Jason will be there? And she was like, great. That's what I was told. So I was paying. Then when Catherine and I broke up, I couldn't afford the rent anymore, so Catherine was paying the rent for the horse. And then I guess Catherine wasn't paying the rent for the horse. And then that lady and Catherine had a falling out again. This is just what I'm told. I don't know for sure. And she was like, I don't want you to see the horse anymore or Jason. So I reached out and was like, hey, I didn't know the rent wasn't being paid. I'll take over the whole thing. Because I was doing this, and I was like, I'll figure out a way to get $300 a month. I just need that horse in my life. And she was like, I don't know what gave you the impression that you were ever gonna own the horse. It was just a loaner. That's what she said. And she was like, you'll find another horse. I'd rather, I want to have full custody. I don't want you guys around him. And I was like, I respect your wish. I'm not gonna, I don't know this girl. It seems a bit, like I'm not allowed to see him. Seems personal, But I can't. I'm not gonna. What am I gonna do? I'm not gonna argue with somebody about it. It is their horse. Whether I thought it was mine or the fact is that she is the one that owns him and has been paying the rent. So, yeah, she said she doesn't want me to see him. So I'm not going to see him. And that's that. That's what happened there. So I don't know the ins and outs. It doesn't really matter what the facts are. The person that owns the horse doesn't want me to see the horse, and I'm going to respect that and not see him. I don't know if it's a good idea to go up there anymore anyway. Because if I do go up there, I'm definitely going to see him. So I don't want her to be there and then I'm there and she'll be like, what the fuck, I don't need any drama. So I just hope he has a good rest of his life, and I hope that she does see him a lot because he's a good guy, But yeah, it's tough, but it's also like I was saying at the start of the show, life is tough. That's not that bad. He didn't die. He's alive. He has an owner. It's just not me. And it's like, oh, you don't get to... Dude, you know what a privilege it is to have a horse in your life? Even if it's a $300 a month horse, like, you fucking rich-ass dickhead, And honestly, $300 a month extra on everything else that I'm doing, not paying it makes things easier. I got a lot of stuff to take care of. And... I truly believe that down the line, I got a horse lesson. Man, Whitney is the coolest fucking person ever, I swear. She fucking hooked me up with this chick that is like a proper teacher. And I'm getting a lesson next Monday on how to be like, more of a cowboy and ride horses and talk to the horse and understand what they want and what they need and how to react to this and that. Like, fucking, and she's taking care of it, like she's organizing this lesson that I don't know how much it was, but I'm pretty sure I can't afford it. I'm getting a fucking sick ass fucking cowboy lesson, man. And Whitney's horse is like I love 50's awesome, man, but this horse it's like I don't want to do it. I don't want to insult 50, but he's like a Camry, and Whitney's horse is like a Porsche. You know, like this horse is sick. Like he is it's actually more intimidating because he's so big. He's bigger and more powerful, and I don't know. And it's more like if Whitney was like, you can, like if I had no car, and Whitney's like, you can use my car. You know, it's like a nice car. I'd be like, I don't know. You know, like I don't know if I want to. What if somebody hits it while I'm in it? Like I don't want the responsibility. But I do love horses, and we hung out, and I felt a connection with this horse. So, you know, and I will do everything in my power. I'm just walking him. I'm just hanging out, gonna take him for walks and talk to him, and then put him back in his little house and hang in there for a little bit, and then go. It's just such a like, you know, once again, sobriety. You know, just me understanding the magnitude of a friendship, you know, where somebody is willing to do this for me, you know, because they understand how much I love horses now. They're like, why don't you hang out with my horse? And I'm like, fuck, do you know how big of a deal that is? Like, and then responsibility wise, like you can go there without me and take a ride with the horse. I'm like, man, that is just so big, and it means so much to me. So, you know, down the road, money comes and goes, and if it doesn't come again, it's not everything. You know, I have a friend. I have such a beautiful friend, such a nice person who has such a beautiful horse who says that I can hang out with it. Everything's great. Everything's fine. You know. And the people are like, oh, your girlfriend. It's fine. You know? It really is. Honestly, I feel like the more work I do lately, I'm like hooking up. I'm just like hooking up. I can't even. Oh. I can barely do it. I just pee. It's the only thing I do with my penis. Just pee. Too tired. Care. I just want to hug. You know? I've never been gayer. I just want somebody to hug. I'm lying. After I hug for a bit, I'll probably try to bone you. It's not completely gone, you know? I'm not completely cured. Make no mistake. But yeah, there you go. Everybody's cool, man. We're all friends. It's all good. Just, you know, I just want to be, if I can be of any help to any of you with all the mistakes I've made in my life, what not to do, I could definitely help you with that. And, you know, I've had a little bit of a tough run, and I've turned things around, and I'm working, doing better than my stand-up has never been better. And tomorrow night, I've got a show at the Comedy Store with Craig Connett. You know, fucking... It's awesome. Shit is popping off, man. Going to San Francisco soon, then Sacramento, and then Canada. Kicking ass, man. Last few texts and then I'll get out of here. Shout out to Miles. You're damn right. Shout out to Miles. He's great. Cool, man. Last thing I wanted to do is pry. Just sitting here watching. Call me if you want. I'm cool. Yeah, look, I share my life a lot, so I feel like when people ask questions like that, it's not inappropriate, you know. Especially if you're on here, you know, if you care enough to watch a show that I do, then I have no problem talking about stuff like that. And like I said, no ill will. She's a great person. And I wish her all the best. And yeah, that's all you can do, you know? It's just hang out. Did you see Tiger did a fucking front flip?
Yeah, I saw that. Heavy.
Right? Before backflip.
Front flip is sketch.
I know. Hey, I was like, what the fuck? How did you do that? Yeah. Yeah, he's all about it. So, yeah. There's a show for you, everybody. Hope you have a good rest of your Monday. Tomorrow, Jason R's show is back. New time slot. So we are doing a recorded podcast I think at 11:30. And then a Patreon, or is it the other way around? Let me make sure. No, we're just doing a Patreon at 1:30. So Patreon tomorrow at 1:30. And then Wednesday is an 11:30 Patreon. And then a special show with Ian Fance. And then on Thursday, Ian and I are going to do a Twitch. So
Ass man, final $50.
dang, ass man. Shh. Rolling in it, son. Heavy D in this house. I don't know what that meant. But I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate everybody listening. I hope you have a great day. Remember, whatever everybody else is doing, it's not your problem, man. Whatever you see on TV, whatever you see in the news, it's all lies. It's all bullshit. We're all scared. We're all egotistical. We're all lying. We're all cheating. Do the best you can with your day. Have a good night's sleep. Eat something healthy. Take care of yourself. Hug people that you love. Say something nice to somebody you don't know. Try to make the world a better place. Because sooner or later you're going to get eaten by a shark, or a vending machine's going to fall on you. Or even worse, you're going to go old and not know who you are at an old person's home where nobody sees you. You poo your pants and you don't even know if it's your butt. That just scared the shit out of me. All right, everybody, don't die.